Hi everyone, it's Rivka, and today we're doing the February monthly plan with me. And as you can see, I have my post-it notes ready to go. They will tell me what I need to put on every single day. That way I don't miss anything. And I'm just going to move these ones out of the way so that when I put down the washi, they're not in the way. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to actually do is I'm going to cover the color at the top of this page by 2018. The washi I plan on using is pretty transparent, so I wanted to make sure that this color didn't come through because it doesn't really go with the look I'm going for this spread. And what I'm doing to block out that color is I'm actually using the sticker paper, and what I had done is I had printed myself some stickers, and as you can see I cut them out, and then whenever I do that I keep all of the surrounding extra white sticker paper, and this is why I basically just put it all in one spot in a pile and use it as I need it, and it decreases waste, and it's so much easier to do this than to do a bunch of whiteout that might come up a little easier with when you're trying to place down the washi, and it's less waste and it's easier. And yeah, so I'm just going to keep going with that, and I'm going to be using little bits of it for as many of the little dots as I can. And you can kind of see this sometimes through the washi depending on how transparent it is. And as I said, the one I'm using today is really transparent, so you'll be able to see it a little bit if you're looking, but at just a glance you really can't tell. And I'm just cleaning up the edges. I have noticed you can rip this sticker paper just like you do washi. It's just a little bit more difficult, and sometimes the edges aren't as clean, but that little bit of a cleanup and all was good. And as you can see, it's so much faster and easier than when I've done the whiteout through all of it or anything like that. Whiteout works good, but it's just easier. It's simpler. You're just sticking something down. You're not making sure that it's bubbling up or anything else like that. And there are some little dots within the words of Friday and Saturday, and those ones are too, I'm going to say, small and detailed for it to make sense to go in with this sticker paper to cut it into the right small size. It's just ridiculous. So what I am going to do is, because I use a whiteout, one of those correction tapes, that also won't fit in there. So what I'll do is I'll use a white jelly roller, which you'll see in a second, and I just use that kind of like whiteout, even though it doesn't work as well. But again, I'm putting washi on top of it, so it's not going to, it's like you'll only see it if you're really looking for it. And I've learned some tricks, like if you dot it instead of just writing over it, then it'll be better. But as you can see, I'm trying to make sure that I have to do that the least amount possible, and keeping the as much of it covered by the sticker paper first. And apparently I wasn't sure if I was going to do it or not, but I decided to do it. And as you see, I'm doing the dotting thing because it puts more of the ink on the page and gives it a much more white look as opposed to just the colored down look. And then after that, I will be going in with my washi. And I'm pretty sure if you've been watching some of my videos, you've noticed that quite a bit of my washi, at least recently, has been on these little mason jars. And what they are, they're laminated mason jars, and I've just been putting wrapping my washi around it. It is so much more convenient. It saves space, and especially when it's washi that's, I'm going to say, running low, it's not like a full roll of washi, it makes sense. So these ones are I'm going to say, Valentine's Day ones, and these washis, actually all of these, came in the Recollections holiday washi box, and I've liked it. Some of them are a little bit not sticky enough and they rip a lot, but most of them are pretty nice. and it was a nice selection, so I'm glad I had gotten it. And by now, a lot of the washi's, because there was less on most of the rolls, and I've used a lot of them, are now on these laminated mason jars. I'm actually thinking about putting these mason jars, not these ones specifically, but making these mason jars and putting them up on my site. And that way you can get like a sample of like 3 different kinds of washi, because most people don't really go through full rolls of washi unless it's one that they really like. But this way you can have a little bit of one, and it's not wasting a bunch of money on a bunch of different ones when you can get like a bit of each for much less. So let me know what you guys think of that, because it's an idea I've been thinking about, but I haven't decided yet. And I'm just unwrapping it. And another reason why I like this one is like putting it on these is because you can actually see how much you have. There have been a couple times when I've been using a roll of washi that I thought I had more than I did, because like the last, I'm going to say, wrapping of it around the cardboard looked like, I'm going to say, more than one wrapping, and also that I would be able to use it, but I couldn't because it had all the cardboard underneath it. So this way I know exactly what it is, how much I have, and I can unwrap it enough to make sure I've got enough for whatever spread I'm trying to do, or project. I use washi for other things too. And so what I'm doing on the top here is I'm using this washi. It's a thicker washi, and it has a bunch of red and pink hearts. I don't know how well the pink hearts are showing up, but where it looks like it's missing a heart, that's where the pink hearts are. And I'm just doubling it up because it doesn't cover the whole top, and it is transparent enough that you can see the letters through it, which is also why I had to cover all the color before. So that's, now you can see why I needed to make it all white. And you can kind of see it when you just lay it down, that the words show through both the February, the name of the month, as well as the name of each day. But in a minute, what I'm going to do, and I kind of do it throughout the entire spread, is I'm going to run my finger over the washi, and that way it goes down and the black will pop through it much more. And right now I'm cleaning up the edges, but you'll see that I'm saving the washi to see if I can use it elsewhere. And sometimes, even if I don't use it in that spread, I'll be doing several projects in a day, almost every day. Not every day, but a lot of them. Or when I pull out everything to do projects, I tend to do more than one in one day. But I'll use that washi in other projects, so it doesn't go to waste, and, you know, extends the life of my washi as well as no waste, both of which are definitely pluses. Alright, so I'll probably run my finger over it later, but the reason why you'll see me do it several times is because it'll start to come up a little bit, like the first, I'm going to say, hour of it being down, it'll sometimes, it can use the help being pushed all the way down, let's leave it that way. So now what I want is I want a thinner, I'm going to say, strip of this washi for the edges, and as per usual I will put it on my paper cutter, and I had just gotten this paper cutter on Amazon at some point. It doesn't totally work the way I want it to, but it's pretty good, and it lasted quite a while, so I'm happy with it. Even though I do think it's time for me to upgrade to something a little bit better. This one doesn't always cut exactly straight, so it's a little frustrating. But what I'm doing is I'm lining it up I'm going to say the line right on the other side of the cutter, and that way I know I have the exact right size that I want, and I just did 2 of those, and I had, I think about where I'm going to be putting it, and I cut as many as I can while I have it out so that I don't have to keep pulling it in and out, and I can just do all my cutting, have it on the side, and then lay it all out. So this washi was a good size, so I was able to get 2 out of each one. So that's what I'm doing here. And this video is going to be going up a little later than I wanted it to, but you know, that's life. Things come up, and my recordings were not working, so better late than never, but it's not really that late. It is only the 1st, so it is still perfect way to start out the month. And I did post, I believe it was Monday, the plan with me for this week, and this next Sunday I should be posting, if everything works right, the plan with me for next week. And I hope you guys do come and watch that. I will link last week's down below as well if you're interested. And I really do hope that you guys are having a good week and year so far. I can't believe it's already February. It feels like it was just New Year's, but that's totally a different note. Okay, so I'm going to keep turning the paper because apparently that's what I do a lot during spreads. I didn't realize I did that so much until I started editing videos and realizing that, you flip that page like 15 times just to put down one thing of washi. It's a little bit much, but it works for me and I like the end result, so it's all good. And I like to, outline the notes section border on the side as much as I possibly can. It kind of frames the month as well as separates out the sidebar if I want to do anything with it. And I have a little bit extra of this, obviously. So what I'm doing is I know that these couple days, it's like a vacation. I think it's President's Day vacation. They have Friday and Monday off from school this for that weekend. So I'm marking it with a little bit of washi that I had extra, so it ties it in. And since it's in my hand, I'm doing it now, even though normally I would wait until putting down stickers and stuff. Speaking of stickers, I'm going to be doing that in a few moments, but first I want to make sure that all the washi is properly cleaned up and there's no overhang. You can even see it, I think, on the video right now that there's some overhang on the edges. So I'm just going to be moving things out of the way and using a scissor to cut it off and just make sure it's neat. I do it on both sides, but always be careful when you're doing it on the side of the hole punches when you're using a disc bound, because you can cut into it a lot easier and cut off parts of the actual paper. So it's not too difficult, you just need to be a little bit more aware of what you're actually doing. So I'm going to be doing that on both sides, and I'm just going to be getting rid of that because it's not enough to really use for anything else. And now you'll see that I'm using my fingernail to just go over all of the words that are under that washi to make it, come out and pop more, which it does. It doesn't totally come through, like it's not black when you're done, but it's quite visible and you can easily see that it says February and then the days of the week and stuff. So I'm just going to go over it several times with my fingernail. I found I can do use as much pressure that I want. Apparently words I can't use though. In any case, and it doesn't rip the washi. So now I'm looking at the different Post-its and deciding which ones I want to do first and with which stickers. So the first thing I'm going to do probably is I'm going to write out what's on those red, white, and blue ones. And those red, white, and blue flags indicate that it's a flag flying day. And my fiance likes to fly the flag on those days, so I have it in my calendar so that I can try to remind him whenever I can think of it. Sometimes the reason is on the calendar already, like President's Day, but something like Abraham Lincoln's birthday wasn't, so I wrote it down on a little white label, and I'll put that down in a few moments. I try to write out all of mine, especially when I'm using a pen like this, which is just it's an ink gel pen, and I don't want it to smear, so I will write them all out and let them dry for a second before I put them down. And I also try to write on them before I put them on the page, that way if I mess up like I just did on the other one, I can just write it out on a different sticker and put it on a lot easier than having to try to remove it and then put a new one down on top of it. So I'm just going through kind of figuring out which days are which. And most of these are, I'm going to say, school related things, but this month there's also birthday or two. Tyler's birthday, my stepson, is this month, and so is mine. So it's definitely a month of a lot. Not a big family, and we have two of the birthdays in 1 month, so it kind of compounds it. But what I'm doing is I'm just writing these out, and I just realized that these stickers, they weren't on this page originally, and I needed to get rid of the other sheet because I think something had spilled on it, so I just saved as many of the stickers as I could and put it on this sheet so that I could use them. I'd used most of this sheet already, like on a different spread, but these were like the remaining ones and the ones that didn't have that water damage. There was only a little bit, but still worth getting them off that page just to keep things clean and neat. So I'm going to remove the flag and put down this white label that I had originally written on. And I do that, but I also put a flag. That way you can see that it's a flag flying day just by kind of looking at it. And the 19th is President's Day, but it already says it on there, so I didn't have to write it. And now I'm just going to go through, and the stickers that I wrote out, I'm just going to replace these sticky notes with those stickers and go from there. The stickers that I'm using right now, the ones that were on that sheet, I believe came from Exo Mom Plans. It was I'm going to say a purpley planner spread. And yeah, the other stickers on the sheet actually came from Temple Loves Crafts. So I like both their shops. I've only ordered like once or twice from either one of them because I don't really order Etsy stickers very much. But what I have bought, I have liked, so it's always a plus. And I'm just putting all of these down in their spots. You'll see in a few moments something else I like to do, even though they each have their own sticker and they're on there and they kind of pop, is put a sticker that represents it. That way I can like kind of just glance at it and see what things are for school, what things are birthdays, and therefore they're going to be icon stickers. And of course, before I did that, I did need to put down why that washi was there. So I just made a dotted line to show that it does go all the way through, and I wrote with a Sharpie. I have found that Sharpie does write on this washi, so that was the only Sharpie I had, so I used it, and I just wrote it down on the actual washi instead of like adding an extra sticker to write what it was. And the stickers that you just saw me put down, and you'll continue to see me put down, are little school icons that I had just found, I think, in clip art, and put it on a Word document, printed it out, and cut it out, and now I use them. So in case you were wondering where those come from, I like to print a lot of my own stickers. I find I get exactly what I want that way, and there's no reason not to. It is time consuming because I have to use a ruler and a blade to cut them out, but in the end it's worth it, and I like it, and I can get exactly what stickers I need. These stickers, however, that I'm pulling out now were just white label stickers that I used a stamp set on, and I had stamped like a row of each symbol so that I could have them on hand. I'm going to be doing it more like as I need them from now on, but I had been experimenting with the new stamp set and getting it all ready, and as you can see, I've used quite a bit of them, but clearly not all of them. So that's how I got those, I'm going to say, balloons. I don't know if you can really see it. You can kind of see it, but it's a little small. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew what those were supposed to be. And right now what I'm doing is I'm cutting down a washi, and I've done this on several washis when the washi's are like symbols and not just a color, and I use those kind of as stickers. So this one had a bunch of different like cupcakes throughout it, so I decided to put one of each of those by our birthdays as well because, well, why not? It's a birthday and we should celebrate and decorate it a little bit extra. And yeah, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover the notes circle. I always do that. I don't know why that color bothers me there so much, but it does because it doesn't really go with what I'm doing. So I use this Me and My Big Ideas sticker set because these circles are perfect for covering, and I just picked one that said enjoy the moment and went pretty well. And that's going to be it for this spread. I hope you guys enjoyed and have a great February, and we'll hopefully watch my other videos in the upcoming time. And apparently I found a little bit of extra washi to clean up. Anyway, have a good one. Have a great February, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.